Now we're going to talk about greasing the slides. All of these instruments have slides that need to be greased pretty regularly. Again, depending on how smoothly they move. They should always move smooth, regardless of how long it's been since you've greased them. Especially on the trumpet, the second valve slide tends to get stuck more than the others because you don't usually adjust this one on a regular basis. You don't use it for intonating your second slide much until you get to be a pretty advanced player. So maintaining this slide is pretty important. Before I pull the slide out, I want to push down the corresponding valve. So if you're going to remove the first valve slide, you push the first valve down, third valve slide, and you gently pull it down, pull it off, and clean this off a little bit. And if you notice, these slides have bumpers on them that keep them from clicking, and you want to make sure that this little washer bumper doesn't get lost. So you make sure you leave that on there, and we're going to put some slide grease on. I just put a little bit on it, and then I move it around with my fingers to make it sure it's even. And it lines up perfectly on this horn, as it should with all of them. And if it doesn't, then you've got a problem with the inner slide or the outer slide. It's bent, or they're both bent. So it should line up correctly. And if it doesn't, you need to get it looked at as soon as possible, because having a slide that doesn't line up on both tubes correctly causes wear and stress on those slides, and it could leak down the road. So I showed you how to grease the third valve slide on the trumpet, and you want to make sure you grease the main tuning slide, which is this slide, and the second valve slide and the first valve slide. Those need to be greased often. On the euphonium, it's very similar. You have corresponding slides for every piston valve, and those need to be greased regularly as well. If you notice, you don't have a lot of room on the second valve slide. You don't use this one as much as some of the other ones to intonate. That's why it's so short. Just make sure that you're mindful that it can freeze if you don't take care of it.